Hi guys. Last week I shared an old post of mine from the day that I first read NASA's motion for summary judgment. NASA's motion put a whole new spin on the undisputed facts of my case, so much so that I felt a little battered after reading it. I ended up having to take a couple days away to gather my thoughts before I could even start responding. So here's another snippet of what I wrote that day. I don't want to have to respond to all the lies and half-truths again. It's not in my nature to give up on something that matters this much, but God, I wish there was some other way out of this whole situation. Next, I want to share some of the encouragement that I got from the regulars in that forum, who are experts in the federal EEOC process. And the comments that I'm about to share with you probably won't sound like encouragement to you guys, but it was the truth that I needed to hear that day to keep me hanging in the fight. They all said the same thing, something that I wish I had known before I opened my mouth to NASA about the discrimination. That once you've started this fight, you can't just walk away and have everything go back to normal. Sometimes we do have to walk away for a little while to rest and gather our strength. But if we want justice, quitting is not an option. So here's some of the encouragement that I got. One forum member said, EEOC inflicts even more brutality on the victim. It's not a fair process, but once you've started, you're targeted, so you can't quit. Another member said, I tell everyone not to use the sham EEOC process, but once in it, we must continue in it just to protect our careers. And here's another one. Once the process starts, you're in it for the long haul. You gotta be like Rocky. What bell? I didn't hear no bell. It wasn't uplifting, but I knew it was the truth, like some of you know it. Sometimes we need to be reminded. If you're still trying to decide if you want to fight, it's best that you know this going in. And you should also know that the fighting usually starts before you expect it. I knew if I ever had to file a formal EEOC claim against NASA, that was going to be a huge fight. For a long time, I thought that NASA was trying to work something out with me, so I'd never have to go to EEOC. That was wishful thinking. My fight actually started on the first day that I opened my mouth to complain about my boss's discrimination. In my mind, I wasn't fighting yet. I was trying to work out reasonable accommodations with NASA in good faith. I didn't know that even though NASA told me, oh, it's terrible what she's doing to you and we're going to help you. Behind the scenes, HR, the diversity office, the legal office, and my entire chain of command were trying to help my boss figure out how to eliminate the threat that was me. You may think your employer is different. I thought the same thing. But my faith in NASA died the day that the diversity manager tried to put me on a PIP to make it easier for my boss to fire me. That and a few other shady moves opened my eyes to the fact that NASA never had any intention of working anything out with me, and I only had two choices. I could either give up my claim and hope that NASA and my boss would stop the illegal behavior, or I could take my discrimination claim to EEOC, which is what I did. Once I realized the fight was on, everything got a lot simpler. I knew not to trust NASA after that, so every time they did something unusual, I knew to question it. And when they told me something, I knew to get it in writing. Now I have to say that even if I'd known in the beginning that it was going to be this way, I still would have spoken up about the discrimination. My fight was absolutely worth it. But I would have done a couple of other things first, like reading up at EEOC so I knew exactly what was illegal about my boss's behavior, and gathering some evidence of the discrimination, including witness statements, before NASA could interfere. I should have done both of those things before I opened my big mouth. So if you're wondering whether you should file a claim with EEOC today, you might want to ask yourself if your fight has already started. If it has, you've probably seen some of the signs. Promises to help you without any real change, one delay tactic after another, power plays to intimidate you and discourage you from fighting back, and dirty tricks to run out the clock so EEOC won't be able to help you. Those things mean that you're probably already a target, and in that case, you can either get another job or fight through EEOC, or you could do both of those things. Once you're on this road, the only way to get any justice is to hang in long enough to settle or win. There's no easy exits here. Fight smart,